I'm sick of boring websites. I'm sick of saying the same thing again and again. And so in this video, I'm going to show you 5 new, cool, original things and websites that I saw in July so that you can implement some new and creative ideas in the websites you design. Let's rock and roll. Hey designer friends, what is up? My name is Ron Segal. Welcome back to Flux, where we talk about web design, and freelancing. And today, let's cover the most coolest website that I've seen in July. Let's dive right into it. I want to start off from this page in Lemonade, which every year they're doing this kind of give back. They're giving money to the community and all kinds of causes. And of course, they want to do a PR and talk about it. In this website, they took something very, very simple, the very simple idea of kaleidoscope. Now, they're talking about different topics. So here, for example, they've planted trees. So all they did is they took an illustration of a tree, with their brand color, which is basically black, white, and this magenta, and they turned it into a kaleidoscope. Now they're talking about animals. So they took an animal pattern and made a kaleidoscope out of it. So they're talking about they took a very, very simple concept, the kaleidoscope, and taken an illustration with their brand colors, but it creates a very, very unique visuals. And again, we're seeing website that looks again and again the same, and this is just like creating a fresh visual here. Very, very simple idea, very, very cool interaction. So simple, yet the result is so unique and beautiful. I love this. Also happy that they're giving money to the community, of course, but this is pretty cool. All right, next website that I want to show you, and I'm going to reload this, is from this startup, company called Zoox, which is basically like an autonomous car that you can just like Uber, but without a driver. So it drives itself, and it's pretty cool. And basically they want to show you, I don't know if this is already active, but basically they want to show you how this thing works, right? Fully autonomous. So far, nothing really new, but very well done, art directed, videos. You scroll through this, you feel like you are the camera, scrolling at the top of this vehicle. But what I really like about this website is how it all comes together. Like the product design here, the way that they designed this car, look, it's like a rectangular with round corners. And look at the type. The type looks exactly like the vehicle, and the buttons look exactly like the vehicles. And the menu, everything, this shape of the vehicle returns, it kind of comes back again and again in everything in this website. And this design element is kind of like repeating itself again and again, right? Note this round corners here and here. And so I really love this. I really love how a design element is very, very cohesive throughout the website, the design language, the brand. I really think this is a really great example. Of course, I'm also a sucker for all of these new crazy gradient where it's not just like, directional gradient. It's just a combination of cool colors and they're changing here. I really like this. So I thought it all comes together very nicely on this website. Video production, 3D rendering, the scroll interaction, but all of the design choices like color, typefaces. I love this. I think they've done a fantastic work on this. Next website that I want to show you, again, a sucker for gradients background, but this is for Sandland. It's basically, I think, like sleeping pills. But what I like about this, again, pretty simple website. It's pretty solid, like solid font, solid layout. And here you can see there are different pills. But what I like about this, check this out. See the interaction in the background, fall asleep, and look at the feeling of this interaction. It's actually look like a breathing, like somebody breathing, like imagine you're sleeping. It's like the breathing, it's like the stomach going up and down or your chest coming up and down, and it kind of repeats itself. And I think this is so subtle, right? It's in the background, but it's very, very clean. But just with this very nice interaction, check out the ZZZZ in the background. This website is designed to calm you down and put you in the mood of sleeping. And I like how while keeping the website so minimal, we're able to convey this feeling of sleepiness and drowsiness with something as simple as this background looping animation. So congrats for that. I really like about that. I usually feel like people use interactions to just make things cool and stuff like that, but to use it that way, very, very subtly, to tell the story and convey the feeling that they want with this website, I think this is a fantastic touch, and I really, really love this. All right, next website that I want to show you is this one. Sometimes Always. Basically, it's kind of like a wine magazine or e-commerce. They're making wine recommendations. And this is wild. I think they took, you look at this, you're immediately like in a 70s mood. Check out the color palette, check out the fonts here, check out all of the layouts, the mixing of all of these different fonts. And you know, when you're talking about something as premium as perhaps wine or something like this, you see all of these colors that, you know, they're kind of weird and quirky, and not always, they don't necessarily look premium. And this actually, I feel like, look at the art direction here. They went completely in for this 70s look. Yeah, really into this 70s look. This looks like like a magazine from the 70s or something like this, like a music magazine from the 70s. And I think this is actually pretty brave and fresh, right? Usually we would see this very clean and premium-y look, but this is pretty wild. This is pretty fun. Look at how they've illustrated the wine profile. This doesn't look like a normal e-commerce, especially not wine e-commerce website. So I really congratulate them on check out the wild colors here. I mean, and it all just works. All of this, it's a very, very 70s color palette, and I love this. So I want to show you how very, very focused art direction, saying we're gonna go with a funky 70s music kind of vibe to our website, can really pull together and convey the whole story of your brand and website. And they're doing a lot of things that otherwise I might say they are a mistake. The color combination, the font combination, but it just works, and I love this. All right, the last website I want to show you is actually not just because it's amazing website, but I just think it's really, really funny. So this is Dead Startup Toys. It's basically toy versions of a lot of big startups that failed. And I don't know if this is funny for you, but I follow all of these big innovative companies that trying to do cool projects. They raised a bunch of money and then they end up failing, like this one, which was supposed to be a cooler and a speaker and a blender. They raised 14 million. It didn't work. This is actually a pretty sad story. Theranos, it was a company, raised 700 million. It was up by blood testing, ended up being like a fraud. There was this juicer that raised $120 million to make like fancy juice. You ended up being able to just squeeze the juice in your hand. All of these stories of these companies that try to change the world end up being a failure, and now you can actually buy a toy just to make fun of them. And this website is also, check this out, is kind of like this Roman Greek architecture. I'm not sure if this is Roman or Greek architecture, but kind of like with the angels, with the startup angels laughing here in the background. I just think this is so funny. And this is actually there's this, I don't know if this is a studio called Mischief. They're just doing drops of random different projects, and I think this is actually pretty cool. Great way for a company to say, oh, we're doing cool projects once a month or something like this. Each project potentially can go viral, and that's a great way to market yourself. All right, these are the things that caught my attention this month. If you have seen anything really interesting this month, let me know in the comment below. Also, if you want to learn how to build some of these cool things or effects with Webflow, let us know. Of course, we have courses teaching you web design and Webflow, and they're actually opening up soon, so you might want to check them out below this video. Otherwise, we'll see you in the next video. Peace out.